He left behind a complex legacy. For centuries, Columbus was venerated as the heroic discoverer of America, and he's still honored with a federal holiday on October 12. But in recent decades, Columbus's legacy of brutality toward natives, capturing and movement of slaves, and his pronounced ignorance on many aspects of ocean travel have become more and more well known. It's not in dispute that Columbus was a tyrannical governor of Hispaniola, creating a governing system where natives were mutilated for not making their gold mining quotas, and slaves were regularly shipped back to Spain. But he was also an intrepid explorer, making 4 Atlantic voyages through dangerous waters, rough weather, and totally unexplored territory. Colonization of the New World also leaves a complex legacy. It wiped out native peoples from San Salvador all the way through the American West, but at the same time, set in motion the events that would lead to the United States and the modern world. Is Columbus a conquering monster or a courageous pioneer? In reality, probably both. His estate was tangled in lawsuits for centuries.
After he died, the children of Columbus waged a lengthy legal battle with the Spanish crown, claiming that the monarchy had shortchanged them on money, titles, and property they were due. Most of the Colombian lawsuits were settled by 1536, with the Colon family walking away with the perpetual title of Admiral of the Indies, claims on land in Jamaica, Hispaniola, and several other islands, and a large sum of money to be paid annually.
After his death, his remains traveled the world.
Food poisoning on one of his voyages led Columbus to develop a case of reactive arthritis, thought at the time to be gout. Suffering from that, as well as various other ailments he contracted during the 4 voyages, Columbus died in 1506 in Valladolid, Spain. Columbus's remains were first interred there, then in Seville by his son Diego, who had become governor of Hispaniola. In 1542, the remains were transferred to the present-day Dominican Republic. In 1795, when France took over Hispaniola, Columbus's remains were again moved, this time to Havana, Cuba. After Cuba became independent following the Spanish-American War in 1898, the remains were moved back to Spain. But it's likely that not all were moved, and Columbus might actually have resting places in both Cuba and Spain.
He had become an apocalyptic crank.
Like many luminaries of his day, Columbus balanced a keen instinct for exploration with an intensely religious mindset. He complied a number of apocalyptic revelations in Book of Prophecies, which was published in 1501. Among these were that the Garden of Eden is out there waiting to be found, and that Spain's King Ferdinand would be the last world emperor. Columbus wanted what was his.
The 4th voyage was a disaster.
After spending a few months in prison, Columbus went before Ferdinand and Isabella. They pardoned him and financed a 4th voyage, but stripped him of his governorship, leaving Cadiz in May 1502 on 4 decrepit ships. Columbus set forth to find passage to the Indian Ocean.
The 3rd voyage ended in disgrace.
Several months of exploring South America left Columbus in poor health and exhausted, so he returned to the colony of Hispaniola, where the Santa Maria had grounded on the 1st voyage. When he arrived, he was greeted by chaos. He still hoped to find the Orient on the 3rd voyage.
armed conflict broke out on the second voyage. The second voyage of Columbus was all about conquest. Not all 3 ships survived the voyage. As soon as he landed, he began doing brutal things. Nobody knows exactly where Columbus landed. Columbus almost certainly wasn't the first European to find the New World. His motives were not altruistic. He never would have reached Asia. Columbus was not searching for the New World.
Few people still believed the world was flat.
Writers like Washington Irving have implanted in the popular consciousness that Columbus set out to prove Catholic teaching wrong about the Earth being flat. But it was already widely believed that the Earth was round. As early as the 6th century BCE, the Greek mathematician Pythagoras used mathematics to surmise the world was round, and later, Aristotle proved it with astronomical observations, while Eratosthenes used geometry to estimate its circumference. By 1492, most educated people knew the planet was not a flat disk. He wasn't Spanish, though he sailed for Spain. Christopher Columbus wasn't actually his name.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.